Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I'm Resolves, and this is allegedly the best deck on the ladder. So this is basically the stock Skycrag list I've been able to find. Got the one questionable inclusion of the Mortar, which has been pretty much a staple of the deck for the past couple of months. And though it's going to be rough to sell me on this, I have definitely been burnt out by opponents just like Mortar, end of my turn, untap, just like getting for a bajillion and then just torch me to death. And this extra amount of reach is pretty cool, and just any extra burn is great in general with the Vadius right here, as the quick draw on a free power unit is good in the early game, but in the late game it can struggle a bit to get you through, so you do need to pair it with the Mortar to try and just keep pushing that damage, or at least threatening that my Vadius is going to kill your unit and my Vadius is going to survive. We have the old Champion of RNG with the Champion of Fury here, which can be a 4-2 onto, which is pretty gross, especially in multiples, and because of the overwhelming charge, just really wears the Warcry as well. And we've got a bunch of ways to actually generate Warcry with the Oni Ronin, Rakano, Outlaw, and the Shogun Scepter. And I think one of the strengths of this deck is it is pretty happy to just play 4 Shogun Scepters, and as well the 4 Ornate Katanas, because it does have the quick draw units, well, the the quick draw units and the Aegis units, with the Vadius there having the overlap with the Snowcrust Yeti. And Snowcrust Yeti is a card that I've mostly just not respected, but very recently with the print of Hailstorm, I've seen how strong this can be, because it's just another card that gets to survive the Hailstorm. And when you're like on the draw and your opponent goes like Snowcrust Yeti into powered up Champion of Fury into Vadius, and your answer is a Hailstorm, often your opponent's still got like 5 power in board, and you've already just taken a million, and it doesn't really matter that you had that Hailstorm, because you just paid 3 power at slow speed to kill a 2-drop. We have a slight Yeti sub-theme as well, because we've got a bunch of Yetis in the deck, but there's no real payoff. Although just the Yetis in themselves are generally like one of the more powerful things at their cost bracket, actually. And the Cinder Yeti from the Tavra campaign has really been able to put in some work with this style of deck, as it's able to just remove a blocker, and it also works well when you're able to see on top of your deck with War Cries. It just allows you more decisions to make. But overall, the deck's pretty simple, and the idea is just to Skycrag them out, burn them out, and play the 5 games for the video in like the next 10 minutes. So let's get on to them. Okay, so here we are on the draw, off to a great start, as this deck really wants to be in the play. And hand's sort of nice, because we do have the double red sauce for the Vadius, but I think we're going to just do miles better here, especially as we're on the draw. And this isn't much better, but we do get to... this is going to be interesting, actually. As if we want the charge champion, this is going to be pretty rough to actually do. We can actually set this up with the Grenadin Jones instead. So I think we seat first. Play the Snowcrust out, because this is better against being on the draw against Vara's favour. And if we draw a 1-drop, we'll just play double 1-drop and hit this for a Primal. And if we don't draw a 1-drop, okay, we draw a 2-drop, great. So now we get to sort of have it all. Make the Primal, attack for 2 here. I think our next turn is very likely going to be... So Torch is fine. We'll start with probably against like Felnscar or like a Scream deck. I think the next turn is going to be chuck this Shogun Scepter onto here. And then if our opponent does have like a way of dealing with our threat, we've got a pretty nice sort of backup here. And as well... Okay, so this is a bit more of a nuisance, because if we do put the Shogun Scepter on here, we still end up trading, which actually I think is fine. And this is like turn 3, we just have like two or three definitive like decision trees to be taken. I probably can get in, but they sacrifice the board in that case, and that's fine. We don't have to worry about anything. They can start doing Haunted Screams, but we can perhaps just not give them the time for that to matter. Yeah, opponent leaves back the 4-2. They can just sacrifice the board, that's fine. Go to game 3, probably okay here as well. So I get to go up to 3 toughness here, which doesn't actually do very much for us. I think right now we'll give our opponent like a bit of a rough spot to be in. Just attack with all these. Get a nice 2 Warcries on top. And then next turn we get to turn anything into a pretty huge threat with just this Ornate Katana. Probably not sticking it on the 4-2 because this is already threat enough, and I just don't want to get torched here, even though we do get to draw the card from the Katana. And the Assembly Line's gross. It's going to do some real work against us. But we can put on one of our Oni Runners just to make it have to be a double block. Okay, so we'll lose the Overall Armor anyway. I suppose this is fine too. Get to attack in for a bunch and then make a Pyroknight. And the Ornate Katana here is still good now without either of our Overwhelmers here. There's a little bump of free life and free cards was good for our opponent, but hopefully they're just not going to have time to be able to spend them all. So I suppose this deck is actually just the embodiment of the philosophy of fire. Our opponent is sending a message here, but playing out the wrong... well, just a Grenadin, okay. And I'm pretty happy just to... well, maybe I just want to save back their Pyroknight, but I'm also happy just to sort of force our opponent to make a bunch of blocks here. And 2 nice little Aegis units is pretty tasty there. Well, we're hellbent, we've got no cards in hand here, but we do have a reasonable board, and double Aegis is going to be nice here, because it means we're not going to get any sort of nonsense with any Madnesses or any Combust or anything like that. Combust isn't great here, just trades 2-2 for 1-1, so even if they had it, I don't think they'd use it. And we get to reload with a Pyroknight, which is nice there. Opponent has to block the 4-3, so we're getting for 3 points of damage. Keep our board, and we get to play a Pyro. Opponent does have enough power where a Haunting Scream is going to be reasonably good for them as well, because they'll have the power to sort of do something about it. And yeah, they're out of it. And here we are on the draw with sort of like the legendary hand, if it has 2 power here, but making a Fire Source on the draw and then just being able to deploy 1 threat a turn isn't really going to win the game here. This is slightly more exciting, but we really do want to find like an undepleted power here. But at least we'll be able to really get in for damage, because we do have the double Cinder Yetis here. But we'd realistically just like to find undepleted power so we can just make this Ornate Katana. City Fury sadly not doing the Lord's work here. We do get to crunch for 2. Could be like some sort of removal pile deck here. It's a bold choice for Ladrin, actually. I feel like we could really struggle to try and win this game now. Black Eye Manacle's fine. Yep, I accept your terms. Okay, we might be in good shape then. I've got to assume that our opponent isn't playing some sort of deck that does something with this. If they are playing Solitude, that's fine. Maybe we can actually win this game, but I'm not super ambitious here. I really want to keep this alive so I can put the Shogun Scepter on it and get a little bit of stuff going. Yep, 2 costly is fine. And I suppose the manacles here is some technology to beat us down for trying to get there with the Ornate Katanas. That's pretty much what I want to say. Okay, if the Virus Favor went to the Yeti, would be in terrible shape. But rather than play the champion, though now we do have a second threat, I'm not feeling as rough about playing it out. But we've got 3+2 for next turn. I'm just going to play the Onyx Katanas on here. I don't want to play out the champion quite yet, but now we've drawn the Vadius, I think we're fine with it. We've got to try and get it for 11. The opponent doesn't have a torch, that's nice. So they can harsh rule us here, but if they do, we're able to make a Vadius with a Shogun Scepter. Giving our opponents like quite tight in power. Well, they do have 7 now. That should hopefully be able to do some work for us. So weapon could be reasonably bad for us. But Macto's actually fine. We can actually just get the Steel Fang Chakra. Well, Shogun Scepter is sort of back, means we can attack with both. We can always get that next turn. So we get to use the torch, and this is why Macto's good. This is why I like Macto in the meta game, because the cards in your hand still do stuff. It's not like you're playing against the sort of GPS Tin Man deck where you just have cards in your hand that don't do actually anything. Well, I've got someone who want to do with my power, but that'll be great for like if they're able to deal with our threats. Yep, opponents give up because this is going to be incredibly difficult for our opponents to deal with. If our opponent dealt with our actual board, then we would be able to have made the Chakram and put it on the champion as well. Okay, and here we are, living the life because we're on the play with Skycrag. We do need to redraw that hand. This hand's not great. I think we might actually just save the Ornate Katana to put onto the Vadius. I think straight off, we're going to lead with the Pyroknight. So ideally, we'll just draw like a 2-drop here or just some sort of interaction. So we don't feel priced into making the Katana now. But now we've just got 2 Katanas. I think this is what we're doing with our life. We are making a 4-1 overwhelm. And then we're just going to go Vadius into Vadius and just use the Ornate Katana just to keep pushing that damage with the quick draw boys over here. Vadius is actually one of the first cards I crafted from this set. Now, these aren't the same copy. Equivocate can sort of do some work here actually, but fortunately it didn't. Although I'm not a huge fan of Pyroknight, so most of the things that it could get turned into are not really that much of an upgrade, or a downgrade. Though with all the cantrips of these Ornate Katanas and the Cinder Yetis, then we do actually find a way of getting a bunch of power in play, as the Vadius is actually really realistic at getting in game as well. It gives you a real late game power in the deck. I think we're still just crunching. I'm just going to try and develop our board, get this Vadius down. We can sort of use the Ornate Katana as well to try and dig for a Cinder Yeti if our opponent does put something back in. I believe that was an Echo card, so maybe this is Clock Roaches, in which case we should be in pretty great shape. And here we go, we see Hailstorm. Not doing much really. Our opponent needs to like follow up with another Hailstorm really. I'm going to be keeping this one back. There is another... Actually, what's going on here? I'm not keeping this back. Just didn't realise I was at 10. Just like thinking about playing around another one. Well, at least our opponent was... Okay, and here we are again on the play with Skycrag. Just loving life basically. Where do we stand on this hand? We've got a 4-drop, and it's not even a good 4-drop, but we do have a bunch of nice 1s and 2s to play. I think we can do better, but just for science, I'm going to see where we get with this. I'm actually just going to lead with the Primal Sigil. This leaves us open to drawing like banners or seats. I'll play the Snowcrust Yeti. If our opponent's playing some sort of deck that looks like it's a dopey control deck, then maybe we play the Ornate Katana. but it's not some sort of praxis deck, so I think we just get threats down. Play down the Outlaw, which is a nice body for the Ornate Katana to pop on. Next turn we get to make a 2-1, which is great. Okay, it's also against like a FTP moment deck, which means that the quick draw is just not going to matter. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So, what life force is in those colours? Is that opponent like... Okay, they thoroughly confused me here. We're just going to get this on here so we don't like lose the damage. Alright, great. Permafrost, even better. I should perhaps like considered that as an out, really, that we could have drawn Permafrost or like some other one-cost answer to this. But I was just really sort of confused about what they could be doing. Yep, they definitely went for just these colours. So I'm curious what the colour aspirant's for, like what sort of life gain they've got in this deck. It's sort of a fine position to be. I don't really want to play the Overwhelmed Knight here. I'd sort of like to just Mortar. Aw, False Prince. Well, I suppose we're priced into killing that. I suppose we'll play this just on the offside. We draw like a undepleted power able to ultimate it. But Hailstorm will very likely be curtains for us here. Obliterate, that's fine, because it's going to deal with one of our threats anyway. So if we mortar the face and we draw a power, we get to win on the spot. Okay, so the Yeti was probably good enough as well. And give him the old... No, one time, not the gift. There we go. So we have a couple of outs. My problem is like a Heart of the Vault is going to be pretty gross because it will like kill this and invalidate this, which is not where we want to be. I'm pretty curious what our opponent's strategy is because it looks like there's not actually... Okay, so the Shotglass Mage gets to kill this, but with no life gain, what's it doing? And if you attack him with both opponents, of like trades off. We don't really want our opponent to like have a board here. Perhaps that's a position where it would have been nicer to have the Mortar in hand just to sort of clear out a blocker. And rats. Well, we can attack, see what our opponent does. Opponent just makes the easy 5/5 block, which is Rogues. So I should have torched pre-combat to force them to block with this so they don't have it in play to be able to Zen initiation. But if we're able to like just fade for a turn, we should be in good shape. My opponent can't get too aggressive here. Rats. Looks like we're really on the back foot now. And Obliterate kills our threat. But they do need to respect charge threats from us. This Pyroknight's not it. But we get to block here. Take 6, go to 1. And if we draw a charge threat, we're able to win the game. Our opponent has to block with, has to attack with both, because if they don't, we just get to ultimate and kill them. So we block this, take 6, go to 1, and have the out of a charge threat. Well, one of our champions, and we didn't find it, so we lose. I'm pretty sure we could have just had this game in the bag. But we made a couple of mistakes on the way, and this Flamestoker is ambitious. So I'm guessing that the Cult Aspirant was in the deck because they've also got the Shepherds on. Okay, so mystery solved. We don't have to die not knowing what that was. Okay, and I think we can keep this because we do have 1 drop and 2 drop, but I think actually we just want to redraw this. We don't want more 1 drops. Don't want any awkward turns, and this is great. We've got Oni Ronin, which is pretty much my favourite 1 drop in the game. So we'll play this out. If our opponent Virus favours it, then we're in pretty gross shape, but really just need to high roll here and just be able to get those war cries happening. Sabotage is fine. Taking the Ornate Katana, that's okay. They do need to respect the fact that we do have the Mortar though. I'm sure we'll be able to slip in like a Snowcrust Yeti at some point. Like if we don't draw a power here, we'll be able to play there. And slaying our 2-drop is sort of fine, really. Do ideally want to find like a power just so we're able to use these Cinder Yetis just to keep pushing it for damage though. Okay, and we've got the Warcry here with the charge, so I think I'm just getting in for 5, well 6, rather than playing out the Snowcrust Yeti. Oh, sweet. So our opponent is actually just playing the like straight actual Minotaur tribal here. And Lord's Gohan is a pretty sweet card. Like, especially if you're going with the actual strategy. But it does look like we will just get to sort of Skycrag on here. We do have the 5-3 Champion of Fury here, which feels a lot like Champion of Chaos, which is a very powerful card. And as our opponent sitting back to block it, no, they're actually getting aggressive and attacking him, which is perhaps where they actually want to be in the matchup. Now, we'll get in for 10. There's a real heads-up play from the opponent there, just attacking with the Relentless Garhorn. I'd like to draw a power and then have to sit back. That'd be pretty great for us. And I think maybe we're in a position where they do actually have to sit back here. And we'll get to Mortar it down and just chump in for 1 million. Well, they do also have the Cinder Yeti. And Quitters of Blades, gross here. They get to get in for 10 and they get out of the Mortar range as well. And double Mortar just absolutely teasing us. And obviously the Mortar with the 4 points left over. Let's give them the old GG's. Good games to the opponents. Okay, we're on the draw here with a 2-2 Champion of Fury, so that's an easy redraw there. This hand's sort of nice. We get to go 1-2 plus a Ornate Katana just to sort of here's that third power to get this Vadius in there. And we're against a Hailstorm deck, it looks like. So it's sort of a rough spot to be in against sort of shadow decks when they just get to turn to Vara's favor and just kill you for it. And having a 2-2, if our opponent is playing like a Bloodcaster version of this deck, that's going to be super gross as well. But we're just going to play the Ornate Katana here, just try and draw that card. And it was power as well, which is excellent for us. Because that means hopefully we'll be able to tidy up with this Vadius. And putting the Ornate Katana with the Vadius is great as well, because it means it can attack into our opponent's Champions of Cunnings. And Annihilate's fine here. I think we'll play Vadius first. We can use the Champion to sort of like tidy up after, or just like surprise 5 damage. And yeah, we'll just do this. Play the Permafrost, get in for 8. Everyone's miles away from the shadow side, so Permafrost isn't actually a very good answer to Champion of Cunning, but as our opponent is just like 5 years away from making this Shadow Influence actually do anything. We should be able to just sort of get in here for a agility damage. I've got a load of burn in hand here as well. It's not going to be excellent because our opponent does have the face ages. But our opponent is at 9. We're going to pop the face ages at the end of turn. So no good play the Grenadin drawn out. Which is actually strictly worse if our opponent does make a Black Sky Harbinger here. But our opponent's not got it this turn. But the idea is that next turn, with the 3 torches, we should be able to kill him with the 7 power in play and the 3 torches in hand. This is going to be a salty moment for the opponent when they just get like triple torched out of nowhere. Although I did misplay and only make it a double torch. But we ended on a high there. Okay, so that was Skycrag, allegedly the best deck on the ladder. And I can see where people are coming from. It's definitely quite quick to get those games in, but there's just a lot of thinking that goes into those games. They're very difficult. There's so many decision points. And we saw in a few games there where we definitely lost a lot of points of damage by just like choosing the wrong decision on the tree. But overall deck sweep, I'm definitely a lot higher on the Ornate Katanas here, as they are pretty great for all of our units actually. Like maybe it's a little bit stains with the Oni Ronin, but turning a Grenadin joint into a free one that drew you a card is pretty sweet. Of course, we do have the problem where we are pretty weak to being on the draw against a Shadow deck because they get to go Varus Favor into Hailstorm, but hopefully the Aegises from the Vadius and the Snowcrust and just having charge units is just pretty great, especially in decks with Warcry. Also, like any deck that can actually just play Shogun Scepter as well, and Mortar was exactly what I thought it would be, which is just like a basic there because we just don't have a 71st to 75th card. I'd much rather play something like Morningstar. Maybe there's like a weapon we could play. But I can see the like appreciation for just having this reach in the deck. So I did really like the older builds of this deck that actually played Sensara Brigand. And Sensara Brigand with Oni Katana and just like Warcries is just delicious. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and this was Skycrag, which is perhaps actually one of the best decks on the ladder.